Hello there, my name is Ingrid Marsh, otherwise known as the Empowerment Girl. But basically, I'm on a mission for us to break free from other people's expectations of us, which are steeped in stereotypes, for us to break free from the impact of unconscious bias, and for us to break free from negative belief systems that are going round and around and around in our mind, which simply do not serve us. For us to improve ourselves and also to help create a better world. So the big question is, what brought me here? Well, three things really. For many years I was teaching women things like public speaking skills, coaching women on how to find and express their voices, their authentic voices. And I stumbled across a repeated problem. When I tried to break down what was holding back, what was going on through their minds, they kept saying the same sort of thing. Well, because I'm not tall enough, thin enough, slim enough, or, because I'm a little bit podgy, because I have a foreign accent. If I was a man, I'd be okay. And what I realised, all the situations, the things that they felt was holding them back from expressing their authentic voice was all steeped in stereotypes. And after that, I became a real vigilante for stereotypes, like really looking out for it where it occurred, even on a subliminal level. This is where we talk about unconscious bias. And really wanted to track it down, expose it, call it out, because I realised how much it was holding my clients back from being able to express themselves. It was impacting their self-esteem. And when it starts impacting your self-esteem, it means you can't realise your full potential. And in many cases, it also made them ill, leading to depression and things like anxiety. The other thing that brought me here is what happened to my son, my wonderful son. He was in the primary school, did incredibly well, left school with straight 5s in his stats. Was visiting his primary school by his secondary school, which I thought was rather odd, but hey ho. He was one of only about sort of 15 black boys in his year. There wasn't many of them. And they were all streamed in the same group. Now this is different to sets, which is movable, you can move up and down. In a stream, you're on the same level for all your topics, and you can't move from there. It's impossible almost to move from that group. And the other horrid thing was, in this stream, without being tested, you were automatically given double science. You were not afforded the opportunity to do treble science. It was crazy. My son left school with straight 5 in his sats. He should be able to do the treble science, but it was just not afforded to boys in that stream and below. I was furious. For 2 years I tried to challenge this and fight this. And I remember when I spoke to a solicitor, she said to me, well, he is a black boy. We all know they're not as smart. His scores meant nothing. My son, once again, just like what happened to many of my female clients, would get ill. His self-esteem was ripped from him. He became disengaged at school and then stopped attending. It was hell. So in the end, I moved him to a new environment. He was still in a minority, but it was an inclusive environment. And here he was afforded the opportunity to do his treble science. And in his recent GCSEs, he scored A star in physics, A star in chemistry, and A star in biology. Once again, my boy would have been in this situation based on other people's expectations, which are steeped in stereotypes, would have prevented him from reaching his full potential. The other thing that got me here is a really exciting story about a man called Daniel Keach. I love him. Now, Daniel Keach became blind from a very young age, around about 6 months or something like that. But his mother, because she herself had been in an abusive relationship, she was quite insistent she was not going to bring her son up in fear, despite the fact that he was blind. So Daniel's mother allowed him to run free. Despite being blind, totally blind, she allowed him to climb trees, fall down, learn the lesson from falling down, climb trees again, go on walks, etc., etc. And what Daniel did, he taught himself a system where he would click with his tongue in his mouth, and through that he was able to pick up the vibrations around him and could determine where he was. As a result of that, Daniel can now ride his bike by himself through city traffic. He kept away from blind schools who had limitations as to what a blind person could achieve. He kept away from people who said, well, you're blind, you can only do this. And he himself was allowed to reach his full potential through keeping away from the noise. Now, this is why I create retreats instead of workshops. Because you see, to solve all of these problems gender, race, ability, sexuality, age, religion. I'm going to mention height even, and accent, because all these things are biases that everyone's impacted by. To solve it is simpler than we think. We just need to pause. That's it. Because through pausing, it stops us from making those quick decisions that we're making that are steeped in stereotypes. Through pausing, we can stop and realise the decisions that we're making about ourselves and others, which are steeped in stereotype, which are ridiculous, which are inaccurate, which are simply not true. Through meditation, we can now start working on our fear. Through meditation, that helps us start realising that our thoughts are just thoughts. They're not real life. They're just thoughts going through our brain. They're not real. They don't have to be acted on. Through becoming more mindful and through pausing, we can actually not only boost our mental well-being, we can actually improve ourselves and improve the world we're living in. Please join us on our next retreat to help improve yourself and to help create a better world. Thank you.